Good evening, curling world. We are back in Adelboden. It is the third edition of the World Curling Tour men's event here in this gorgeous little mountain town.
Yeah, it was 14, the one before Spangi.
If you want to visit a little picture postcard alpine town without loads of people yet, then come to Adelboden. You can come and join us watching curling as well. We always have a really cosy time here in Adelboden. But busy time as well. This is our fifth draw today. Fifth and final draw for this Friday. In our featured game then, we are watching more local favourites. Bangerter. And they are playing the very well known pride of Italy. It's Team Retornaz. The Italians having fun already. Sebastiano Arman winding up his throwing arm, releasing a grenade.
Shooter.
It is the Italians who have last stone advantage in this first end. And we just saw the other young Italian team here. That's Team Ribotta. Really close game. Wanted to say close and tight, and it was both. Close and tight game between Team Ribotta, the young team up and coming from Italy, and Team Stych from Poland. First time we're welcoming a Polish team in our competition here. And it was a last stone 4-foot draw for Konrad Stych, who is an early favourite for the most popular curler in Adelboden in the absence of Yves Stoker. We have regular superfans, Michaela and Megan, in the chat. If you want to say hi on this Friday evening, everyone's welcome in the chat here in the virtual club, and of course that's a statement of intent by Sebastiano Arman. Ramma, you will hear the team saying. Good shot, Ramma. I learned recently that that is Sebastiano's nickname. I think Team Bangerter are going to have their hands full today.
Yep. Yeah. Easy.
But supported this competition every time, Team Bangerter. Still a difficult team to beat, as we always say, no easy games at this level. And Team Bangerter finishing in 9th place last time, just outside the quarterfinals. Slightly different lineup this year, but a lot of experience. We watched the Italian team's game against young Team Iseli from Switzerland earlier on today. And that was really a game of youth versus experience, not to make the Italians sound ancient, because they're certainly not. But Team Iseli, fresh out of juniors, they won their very last Swiss Junior Championship end of last season, and it was experience that won out. It was the Retornaz rink who just kept things tidy, waited for a couple of mistakes, capitalised on those, and maybe a couple of tactically naive calls from the young boys. And Christian Bangerter He's played for a long, long time. I don't think he'll be making many tactical mistakes. What I think all the teams this weekend are going to struggle with the Retornaz rink is just going to be the precision of this Italian side. They are current world bronze medalists. And that man throwing a stone, Amos Mazaner, one half of the Olympic champions at mixed doubles. He and teammate Stefania Constantini doing a wonderful job for representing curling and representing Italian sport in Beijing. And they were better than everyone else from start to finish. They were superb, Amos and Stefania, well-deserved gold medalists there. Quite some momentum with this Italian team just now. You can see a slight change in lineup. Standing next to Joel on the right in the red sweater is Mattia Giovanella. He is the long-time alternate for Team Retornaz. And previous full-time lead thrower Simon Gonin, he's focusing on mixed doubles for this season. So Mattia playing full-time with the Retornaz rank now, and what a debut he's had. They made quarterfinals a couple of weeks ago in Baden, only to run into Benoit Schwartz in fine form. Pretty much dumped them out the competition on his own, but bounced right back in Scotland last week. This Retornaz rink, they beat 4 Scottish teams. They beat 2 American teams, including double Olympians John Schuster, who have also won an Olympic gold medal. And they marched all the way to the trophy last weekend, did Team Retornaz. So we are really happy that they're continuing to support our competition here.
Non so se entriamo e questa c'è il rischio che fa così.
J'ai pas eu l'impression, c'était soft. Moi, je pense que oui. Le sentiment, parce que j'ai pas vraiment.
Poi apri questo. No.
Mais le résultat est pas mal.
Devi fare questo, questo, venire dentro. Secondo me 9 è passato vicino.
Quite a mix of languages out there. We can hear, of course, the familiar accents of the Italians. And then in Bangerter's team, Christian, he's native Swiss-German speaker, and a couple of his teammates are French. Italian actually one of the official languages in Switzerland as well. We have 4 official languages here: Swiss-German, French, Italian, and the 4th one is Romansh. It's really just a couple of the valleys over towards the southeast of the country that speak Romansh. I don't think I've ever met a curler who's Romansh speaking, at least not as their first language.
Easy line. Amos.
But nice start from Bangerter, taking advantage of all that granite out front, forcing Joel into a difficult shot with his first throw. Oh, and Mattia, good idea there. Quickly thinking, if we can just sweep that a little bit straight, maybe we can just make contact with that red, redirect the yellow. You can see the weight was just lovely. But good to see the Italians all smiles. I'm hoping to see them well into the back end of this competition. We have 4 more round-robin games tomorrow. Each team plays 4 round-robin games. Tomorrow evening, we have my favourite round, is the quarterfinals. We have 4 top games of curling all at the same time. And then we have semi-finals and finals on Sunday, so we still have tons of curling to come.
Curl! Curl! Curl!
Nice, nice, good, good,
And
good,
this
good.
is
Good.
good stuff from the locals. Yeah. We don't respect your world championship medals, Italy. We're coming straight for some good shots here.
Si on est court, parce qu'autrement, si on laisse ouvert, il a double pour
Potrebbe provare, ma...
Bien balayé. Sorry, j'ai directement pensé c'est méga court.
Perché risce anche i doi così.
Je voulais vraiment éviter que je joue.
No, piuttosto, cioè, proveria... No, se preferi fare uno, gioca questo.
Mais je pense que c'est pas trop mal.
Eh.
Non, bah, peut-être pas, mais...
Se che la sanno uno va bene.
Le trou ou le run? Le run ou...
Se mi piace, non ho problemi a giocarlo. Il problema è che se la c'ha fa massa interna. Che
Great start from the locals. They've got the Italian boys thinking already.
Keep and roll. Moi, je pense que oui. Si tu regardes ici, je pense aussi pas, mais si tu es là-bas...
Provi a provare il port in out, ma...
Piccolo. Mais on
ma no, casomai con un 11 dicevo me. Un 11 con un po' di rotazione, via. Se non lo passa, che la sanno uno. No, ben capito.
Are they going through that gap? Ooh, I hope they are.
Da che? Rischiamo solo di scavare. Ah, provare lì.
Megan and Michaela being very silly in the chat. So feel welcome to join. We do like being silly.
No, De Pooh. Giù là. Out. Out.
Out.
Sì.
I think Mattia as confused as we are. What's going on? But yeah, looks like they're proposing to go through that gap, which, what's the flexibility there? I think maybe a quarter of an inch maximum. And what would that be, like less than half a centimetre? And yeah, there you see. Did you hear Joel saying Ramma, Ramma? Calling Sebastiano into sweep. What a nice start for the locals. Team Christian Bangerter from Switzerland getting a steal against the mighty Italian team in the first end. It is the Swiss who lead Italy 1-0.
Yep.
Lo la gioca ben. Cos'è la sopprima? Perché sì, dentro vedrà la sua, poi deve giocare più il sol con la mia prima.
Sì.
Visto che il tap anche.
Sì.
E lo deve mettere la guardia giusta o il freeze nel pacchetto e qualcosa va bene. Ok. Bene, facciamo un po'.
Sì.
Michaela making a very excellent dad joke. We were saying that the featured game and the earlier draw around lunchtime, we were watching Joel Retornaz's team playing Jan Iseli's team. And Michaela indeed saying that Team Retornaz disposed of Team Iseli quite easily. Top marks, Michaela. We do like that joke.
Sorry.
I'm not quite sure what happened to that stone from Bangerter.
15,5.
I think they wanted that more towards the centre line. That's more like a corner guard, which may help the Italians. It was the Italians who had first stone, sorry, it was the Italians who had last stone advantage in the first end.
Oh.
But it was the Swiss, Bangerter.
Rama.
They are the ones who
Rama.
capitalised, really
Rama.
junking up that centre line and stealing a big score of 1. But now we shall see some aggressive stuff from the Italians. Bangerter, I think, accidentally putting up a red there on the corner. And the call is gleich, which means the same, but I don't think they mean quite the same.
Only 2. Whoa. Yeah, better not. No. Ja, egal, aber look, Linie.
That's more like it.
Ich meine,
This one was on the broom.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Well, it's running on and keeping curling. And we are playing a no-tick rule here in Adelboden. That means if
das ist von Linie her.
the stones in the free guard zone, if they're touching that centre line, they are protected by the no-tick rule. And that means you cannot move the stone off the centre line, even by mistake. And that also lasts for the first 5 stones. We haven't seen any violations yet.
Linea, linea. Forte linea. Forte bomba.
Will
Forte linea.
Helfen.
Hard. Linea buona, linea
Oh,
buona. Linea buona.
And the Italians don't curling a lot in this direction as well, but
No.
I think that's more the kind of positioning that
93.
will benefit the Italians actually. The team from Bern having to go aggressive straight away here because they didn't quite manage to land those first 2 stones on the centre line.
Lenny is good.
Perché mi sono gioco così. Chris! Sì, no, fa anche tiro.
Lenny braucht Chris.
No. Hammet, alles! Hammet, alles! Noch links! Okay.
And that's a good effort from the Swiss. What they have done is blocked that path in.
Gut dort.
Difficult for the Italians to go behind those 2 red guards again, but unfortunately for Bangerter, they have a second corner guard on the other side, and that's exactly where they're aiming for now.
Nine.
Linea buona.
We've had
Linea buona.
a couple of surprises already.
Linea buona. Linea buona. Stai lì. Sì.
Hey.
Linea buona.
Last year's defending
Solo
champions, Team
Solo
Hösli,
velocità.
T9.
Toccare il bianco per 6 secondi. Toccare il bianco.
guest skip last year
Bel
was
tiro,
the big man himself, the most popular guy in curling, Yves Stalker, and they went all the way to the trophy.
We see something of this?
Guest skip this year, Martin Rios. And this guest skip idea not working out so well at the moment for the defending champions. They have played 3
Backline, so.
and they're on 1 win and 2 losses, so they will need to win their game tomorrow to make sure they get through to the next round. Karim's in the chat. Welcome, Karim.
Sport.
Jan!
Sport.
Jan! Come on! All the way! All!
They got around the guards. Yes, they have. What a good sweep that was. And for an encore, I'm just going to go ahead and roll right in front of that yellow on the other side. What a shot. Golly, the Italians must be wondering what these guys had for dinner.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Karim in the chat saying it would be nice if we had the stone and score count in the bottom of the screen. I do hear you, Karim.
Un quarto. Un terzo, un quarto.
Technical fun-wise, we're hoping to have our pop-up chat
Velocità.
popping up on the big
9.
screen. Hoping to have that ready for tomorrow evening.
Sì, 9 secondi. No, 9 lì, 9 secondi. Sì,
But we
sì.
don't currently have the stone counter and score, etc. But we're very attentive to our audience, so if you want to know anything, you can just ask. We're very quick to answer.
9!
Sì. Sì. Vicina. Sì, sì, sì.
Wow.
And Italy being forced to remove now
Okay.
a corner guard. They were, as you can see, they were hoping to catch the angle to pop the guard onto the red on the other side of the house.
Ja, wenn het goed is, niet zo slim, maar voor mij,
Not quite making it, so again, advantage
Non,
Team
on va derrière,
Bangerter.
c'est parfait. Il n'a pas de double à gauche, c'est...
Skinny un quarto arriva lì mi sa. Va bene.
On a place pour moi. Vitesse, c'est... Mais je pense que tu dois aller à cause de la ligne. C'est loin, c'est vraiment loin.
Just back 8. Come on, all the way, all the way.
Realizing that stone isn't going to stop short as they wanted, so let's make sure we take it all the way back. Don't give Italy an easy stone to hit and roll off. Going pretty well so far
È che
for
finché
the
c'è
team from
questa...
Bern.
Sì.
Also für mich, ich glaube wenig nicht. Weil wir auch für mich gehen.
Tabia's in the chat
Wenn du so spielst, du
asking about the other game. That's the team from France, Eddie Mercier, and playing
Ich würde viel weniger geben.
another Swiss team, also very up and coming, Schneider.
Linea buona.
Sei.
I will find out from Tabia. I know we've been having
Line 8.
Vicina.
a little bit technical difficulties today.
9.
Yesterday everything was fine, of course.
8. 8.
This morning, I think the technical
Linea,
gremlins
linea.
have been
Otto.
making a nest in the camera overnight.
Ok, bel tiro. Buona lì.
Ja, einfach viel weniger ist.
Right idea from Italy, wanting to try to use all those stones on the anti-clockwise handle, but just overthrowing a little bit
Ich spiele...
from Amos Mazzana.
Sì.
But that could be helpful later. It could be possible to bring that yellow back into play.
Tanto che non calcio sport, quindi.
Moi, c'est un peu vite,
12, 12. Step.
Non sei shot su quella che...
Länge ist gut! Länge ist gut!
Oh. Achtung.
Similar idea as
Oh,
before.
Okay. Back 4, back 4.
Schön!
Guarda questo, 3.
Goodness me, it's like Team
Nee,
Bangerter
aber
have
ich hab's
been
nicht aufgegeben.
saving
8.
themselves up all day to fire all their good stones at Italy this evening.
Ich würde schon das Maximum. Weil schau, sie gehen auch schon so ist.
They had a real close game against Mercier, Eddie Mercier, the French team.
Linea buona.
Line.
8.
Close game at
Line
lunchtime,
8.
Linea buona.
also going to the last stones,
Line 8.
but it was
Aspetta,
the
linea.
French team that
8.
won
Linea
that
buona.
one.
Linea buona. Linea buona. 8.
Line.
Freeze.
And they
Freeze. Linea buona.
lost their game
Linea
this morning
perfetta.
against Schnider.
Linea perfetta. Freeze. Solo freeze. Vai Rama. Vai Rama. Rama.
If you're going to
Bravo,
pick up a
Dio.
win, that would be a lot of fun to pick up a win against the current world bronze medalists, featuring
Buona lì. Bravo.
one Olympic champion, no less.
Insomma, da me questa. Bravi.
Freeze! Also, wir sind dort so bei 4.
Freeze is being exchanged then, just cancelling out
Derrière T-line, alors je pense
all
que
of those stones piling up behind T. Definitely space for the Bern team to pop another one on top of that, and then I think the space might be
Ancora Puffina.
running out
Che
actually.
guarda.
A nice shot here. Could again
No, no,
put
no,
some
no,
pressure on the
Hey,
Italians.
no.
Bravo, io piuttosto un po' Puffina, ma...
Wow!
Quella questa già la va, Secca questa,
Kim,
Whoa, leave it.
Yeah, this is coming in a bit chunky.
È da giocare che non è nato, ok? O no, Sì.
That doesn't
Questo è il
quite
gancio
help
di
them.
Amos, arriva bene, le gira abbastanza bene qua. Amos quant'era?
non, tu peux aller.
14 e
Bien sûr,
mezzo
tu
Amos.
peux.
Ok.
Parce qu'on attend quoi? Si c'est large, tu peux faire comme tu veux. Parce que de toute façon, c'est trop vite.
14,56 ho preso la tua.
Non, dat is backline.
Giochiamo Frisa la nostra? Sì, deve avere un buon angolo comunque. Frisa arriva a T-line. 6
Ja,
pure
we gaan
in
je
già.
proberen, we wijzen even goed zijn zin.
Rama now winding up his sweeping arms,
No, ma le gira comunque.
ready to sweep a second yellow,
Probeer je Sven, zo.
put the pressure back
Er is back.
on the Swiss.
Secondo me qua pure giocare bene.
The young Italian team They just had a real close game with Team Stych from from Poland. First time we're welcoming a Polish team in the competition here. Right to the last throw, and Team Stych planting a stone right in the forefoot for the win. The young Italians, Ribotta. Bit disappointed with that, so their role models, Team Retornaz, determined to get a victory for Italy this evening. Karim says, it feels a bit like Italy is playing catch-up at the moment. It does, doesn't it? And Joel's overthrown that one. And he's left the Swiss a bit of a nest there to come to. Now they're nothing if not professional, this Italian team. No matter who they're playing, they will take it seriously. They want to bring their best shots. I guarantee you what is not happening is that the Italians are saying, this team, they lost a couple of games today. This will be easy. I guarantee you that is not what the Italians are saying. They are always extremely professional. This looks a bit happier.
Nice.
There, now is there even a gap to poke that red through? I don't think there is. Mattia seems to think some sort of egg sushi would do the job. I'm not so sure. I think Italy may have to just take their medicine here and realise they maybe can only score one just now. We keep saying it, but it's still true, is that there are no easy games at this level. All of the teams here, they know how to play, as I said. Christian Bangerter, a new constellation, this team this year, but all of these guys have played for a long time. Very experienced. They won't make tactical mistakes. They may not be quite as consistent as Italy, but if they find the Italians making a few half shots, they definitely have the shots to capitalise on that. And in fact, since they've lost a couple of games, close games, the Swiss team, you could also say to yourself, well, they're kind of due a win. They haven't been playing badly at all today. Both of their games went really to the last stones. In some way then, not surprising that they've been saving themselves up to get a bright start on this famous Italian team. Well, let's see, viewers. Oh, they were right enough. There was just enough of a little gap to squeeze its way through. What a shot from Joel Retornaz that was then. That had almost no flexibility, and Joel modestly sliding up to check his result there. I think that could even have been 3.
Perché a tirarla giù de pura si impegnava.
Devi già parla quasi più interno ancora.
No, perfetto così.
Mattia Giovanella was right all along. He felt that there was space to kind of force that red a little bit behind, and there was, and I think that was a big score of 3 actually to the Italians there.
Non era lontanissimo. Sì. Insomma, davvero bravo.
Let's see.
No, non è di 3, le mie a guardare.
For sure it was 1. I'm pretty certain it was 2. And
Thank you.
Sì.
Okay.
oh, you see that a lot in curling. The opposition acknowledging that was a really nice throw from Joel Retornaz. That must have been a bit tough to bear, actually. for the Swiss team. They played an awful lot of nice shots in that second end, and a score of 3 is maybe a little bit more than the Italians played for. But Mattia saw it, decided there was space to force the red through that small space, and I think that was a big 3. So to Karim's question in the chat, would Italy be in trouble if they score? But I guess we were assuming that Italy would maybe only score 1, Karim. Handing last stone back to the Swiss, given that the Swiss were playing really nicely. It was a big score of 3. But even if that had been 2 or even 1, I would not be too worried about this Italian team. Absolutely, the Swiss team are not here to shake hands. You know, they're here to play. But I would expect, I would expect the Italians' consistency to keep them going in the end. Yeah, you'll have a couple more misses like that from the Swiss team. Again, I would expect, just because they don't play quite so much at this level, and for the Italians, of course, this is their normality. So I wouldn't be too worried about handing last stone back to the Swiss. I think you have Mattia Giovanella very capable of setting up an aggressive end.
Clean. Linea molto buona. Linea perfetta. Puoi finire un po', 15-20, 15-20, linea ancora buona.
Sì, che buona,
Spassa da me. Vieni Mattia.
Voor de 12 is het.
Ja. Sì. Bisogna spingere le sulle gambe. Sì, no. Spingere le sulle gambe, perché no.
Wow, nee. Wow. Zeg maar Vites. Ja, Kim, Kim. Yep. On EU. Kim, yep. Hard. Come on, hard. All the way, no guard. Okay.
That was a good sweep.
16.
Really pulling that red as far as it'll go and finding a nice spot there. That red just ahead of the yellow, difficult to remove that red. And it is the Swiss with last stone in this third end in our featured game here in Adelboden. You can catch up on all the scores on the website, that's worldcurlingtour.org.
Linea, ok. Linea.
And Tabia, I did ask if the other live stream is working, but it isn't. As mentioned, we were having terrible trouble with the technical gremlins. And we decided, at least for today, that we really had to just focus our efforts on one game. So sorry about that. You are right. We were intending to show the static cam over on the other game, but unfortunately we had to cannibalize a little bit of some of the electrics to make sure we could have a good stream here on our featured game. Over on the other game.
Yep.
It's snowing!
It's ziemlich snowing!
And it is currently 2-0 to Andrew Schnider over Eddie Mercier of France. Ooh.
No, sorry. No,
That could be a costly miss for the Swiss, as we've seen in a couple of the games today.
Was bored. Sorry.
It is a risk playing towards the centre because you know your opposition. You know they're playing towards the centre because they don't have last stone. So the Italians in this third end that don't have last stone, you know they're going to play towards the centre. If you decide to call their bluff a bit and try to get there first, try to control that all-important area ahead of T-line,
Ok, Rama.
that's a risk, because if you miss
13-9.
with any of your
You want
stones,
to go like this?
you could be in trouble.
I
But
think
yeah,
so. Here.
I think so too. I think there's just a nice little pocket there.
Moi, je pense autrement, on refact un bit.
I think Joe would like to have an early night tonight. He's been yawning all day. It's quite a long drive up from their area in Italy. Although Joe lives in Switzerland now, he lives in Lugano.
Questa non lo conto. Perfetto.
This is the other idea, is also to say to yourselves, well,
Yeah, okay.
those guards out front aren't helping
Ouais,
us,
je
they're
pense
only
aussi.
helping Italy. So let's just
Bien joué.
throw a big hit, move some things around a bit,
Good.
and that certainly opened things out.
Ouais.
You can certainly come round on the anti-clockwise handle now. I think there probably is even enough curl to get to the pin still, or if you play on the clockwise handle, that red currently available, maybe
Linea
not full.
buona.
Solo due.
Linea un po'. Linea.
1, 2,
Linea.
2.
Linea.
Parce qu'on voulait faire
Due più.
double pile, on voulait
Due.
pas faire run.
Linea sempre lì.
2 più.
The
Easy.
Italians then
Wow.
just
wow,
wanted to
wow.
block
Le
access
centre est
to the
toujours
centre,
bloqué, c'est
Eh,
le
bel
problème.
block access to that red. Nicely done from the big man.
Comment tu vas arriver?
Questa è questa. 37. Du kommst hier natürlich her.
Ist auch für einen.
Hä?
Ist für einen.
Ja,
Yeah, the
gut,
difficulty
natürlich schon genug, hierher zu kommen.
of doing that is Italy don't mind if the Swiss score one here. Then it would be
Andere ist da.
the situation that Karim was talking about, but in reverse. So it would be the Swiss
Ja.
giving up last stone,
Dann legt er
but
wieder
only
einen
scoring
daher.
one.
Ja. Nein, das ist gut, ja.
So even if the Swiss
Ja,
played a
weißt du,
perfect stone right now
Das ist gut so.
Weißt nicht so schnell.
and really covered that one foot, which is pretty much exactly the size of one stone, even if the Swiss went round that anti-clockwise handle, locked a stone onto that yellow just behind T, the Italians will probably do exactly the same. They don't mind giving up 1 point here. So I think I like this approach
Ja,
better.
10 muss er spielen.
Ja, ich würde 10, ja, finde ich gut.
Das Problem ist, wenn wir eine 10, irgendwo 9,5, tue ich mich gut. Weil der hier muss ja daher.
Ja, ja.
9,5.
Peut-être la journée après dans la maison, mais on se fout.
Same idea then. We want to just try to clear a bit of space here.
Yep.
I think it's a bit too
Steer.
early to go for the pin.
Oui, hard.
You're just going to get blocked in.
Hard!
Hard. Come on.
Hard!
Oh, but I think this is just over curled. Oh no, that's
Okay.
not what they wanted.
Lei.
And now, unfortunately,
14-20.
Parce que si on
the Italians are going to
trop à
consolidate
l'extérieur,
that line.
c'est complètement égal.
Ja, das ist zu fest künstlich.
Moi, je pense pas.
Linea.
Karim has some great questions in the chat if you want to ask anything.
Ja, ist es nicht.
Linea ok. Linea
We
buona.
welcome all this
Linea
engagement.
buona.
Karim asks
Allez,
if they're playing
c'est
towards the
bon.
centre,
Je tape le globe in de
would the ice be
Geen
faster and affect the curl?
Kan man schon machen.
And
No,
Ja,
ci
aber-
devo morire.
Mijn,
Sorry
het
to answer that question, Karim.
Maar is niet zo,
Oké, normaal.
is niet zo tragisch.
typically, at some point you are going to play towards the centre, right? So the point is, yes, you want as many stones of your colour closer to the centre than your opposition. So yeah, typically the way that we're throwing the stones just now, so throwing out towards the edge of the sheet, and then the stone's going to curl back towards the centre of the sheet, as you say. So it's not quite so much that the ice would be faster or curlier coming towards the centre. It's just that that's the more typical path that you use. So the more you use a path, and you can see these boys can sweep really hard, so
Backline.
that path becomes well used and very consistent. whereas a different path, so sometimes we saw in the game before when
More
they
than
had
back
to
line, attack.
go really wide with the brush, so almost to the very edge of the rings.
Es gibt gar keinen Grund, so schnell
And
zu
we
spielen.
saw that that path was just not so well used as that path straight to the centre. And so when I played in Scotland a long time ago, we would say it was sticky on the wings, and what we mean is that the ice towards the wings, towards the sides of the sheet, it hasn't been played on so much, not so many stones travelling across it, not so many brushes sweeping, and that means that sometimes the ice towards the outside of the sheet can be a little bit slower. So I hope that answers your question, Karim.
Era back tee. Sì.
The ice towards the side of the sheet can be a bit slower simply because, to your point, Karim, we don't play that path so often. So it's not that it starts out like that, it's not that any of part of the ice is automatically slower or automatically less curly, it's not quite that, it's more the well-travelled path is a bit more consistent.
Okay.
I'm happy you like sticky on the wings, Karim. You're
Un po' di spazio
welcome
per
to
ora.
use it. It makes you sound very knowledgeable,
Spazio.
even if you're not quite sure what's going on. If
Linea
someone
buona,
asks you,
dai,
what's
dai.
the ice doing? And you say, oh, it's
Linea
a
buona.
bit sticky on the wings.
Clean.
You will sound very clever.
14-9. No, non serve giù,
Now, the curling gods are not going to give the Swiss team
Right.
any more chances, I don't think. They had a
Sort of
couple
in.
of opportunities to get a stone in behind. It is the Swiss team that have last stone in this third end.
Aber
Non so se ho sentito, quindi non è secca questa. Appena molata.
But
ja,
now,
schau, wenn
as I thought, actually, the
es kommt etwa
Italians'
aufs Gleiche raus. Wenn
consistency
der nicht kommt, sind wir genau gleich am Arsch.
starting to get into gear
Bon, ça peut arriver.
and making more problems for the Bern team.
Oui, oui, bien sûr, mais c'est un peu tard.
Sì, l'ha castigata con
Ça reste 2 pierres.
la spastata sull'apertura. Vedi, potrebbe anche chiamare.
Oui, je comprends, mais tu veux faire quoi comme ça?
Già una scarata giù da
Ja, aber weißt du, selbst wenn jetzt die Gelbe weg sind, setzt der Garten.
Ja, mehr als einer machen wir gleich nicht, oder?
Also,
Welcome all questions here in the virtual club. It's a very
Ja,
friendly
okay.
place. We love to talk about curling.
also,
So thank you,
moi, je
Karim,
vois
for
pas un avantage si
Your
on
interesting questions today. There's no such
Tout
thing as a
comme
silly
where.
question. We love to talk about curling.
Ja, mais
So
for
if you love
foot,
to talk about curling,
ça suffit pas. Hein.
we welcome your
Moi,
engagement.
je pense si on est très précis, on peut être chaud.
Ouais.
Parce qu'ouvre avec ça reste 2 pierres. Moi, je pense que c'est un peu tard.
Yeah, it's good. Still on your hair. It's good.
There is definitely space to swing a stone right into that pocket on the clockwise handle,
Ja, wenn wir
but you've
jetzt
got one
aufmachen.
chance at it, or you are going to get blocked out completely on that handle.
Ja, aber zum Ende weißt du, kannst gar nicht so öffnen, dass irgendetwas passiert so richtig.
Ah, che tiro via la guardia.
T-Line.
Che tira sulla guardia rossa. La gialla la vedo solo rossa, mi sento ancora per spaccarsi il petto.
Sag mal, Vites!
Zieh richtig! Zieh
The
richtig!
sweepers were on it quickly.
Yep,
Alles!
yep.
Alles!
Fest!
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 Big sweep from
Come on!
the boys here, but I think this hasn't quite got enough legs on it. That is coming up short.
A parte non è che tanto.
Maybe
Cioè arrivare a
there
metà
could still be
shot,
access to that red just thrown,
No, però l'unica roba che vale
Quale?
but also maybe not. Yeah, that's what Matthias pointing out. I think he's saying
Non passa sull'altra rossa.
the Swiss could play that clockwise handle again. They could use that red and try and bump it in.
Secondo me no.
Le plan
Non passa sull'altra rossa.
I still think guarding that clockwise handle is the best idea. I
Comunque
don't think the Swiss have a shot on the anti-clockwise handle. I don't think there's much to do on the other side.
le
Mattia
résultat.
thinks maybe they can get all the way to that back yellow.
Moi, je sais pas si je
No,
peux
o
le
lasciare che
pousser
sul
à-
tiro qua e giocare una guardia lì.
Karim asks if, in this sort of situation where there is a lot of granite lying around, is it a good idea to clear the tee for the Swiss team? It would be, absolutely.
Vabbè, sì, non è un brutto tiro.
Well, they kind of left it a bit too late, Karim. As we always say, playing the aggressive stuff, that's high risk, high reward. But if you call the opposition's bluff and try to get to the centre first, you really need to have that exact weight in your pocket. Otherwise, you get into this sort of pickle, and because you've already committed, really, to playing towards the centre, it can be very difficult to find a way out of it.
Ja, du siehst ja nicht viel.
Das ist das Problem.
Ja, aber das Göller kriegt es dir. Da, am Schluss. Ja, ich weiß nicht, ob es
Anders ist.
nicht dazwischen.
Nein, exakt.
Green.
Genau nach.
Linea ok. Linea ok. Con la velocità. Oh, oh.
Oh.
Rama. No.
Ja, das ist schon.
Rama.
Well, that's interesting. The Italians thinking the danger is more on this anti-clockwise handle.
Continua. 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 Continua.
Or maybe they're just showing off and putting another stone in. Yeah, Mattia, he was convinced that you could get a stone to exactly where the Swiss just holding his brush there.
Ja. Da hier ist schwierig.
That could be the only
Prenderla un pelo più esterna.
choice, really.
Ich sehe da auch schwierig. Also gut, nicht, dass er einfacher wäre, aber ich meine, wenn er ganz
So
genau ist,
maybe
könnte er
that
lernen.
final stone from Italy just
Und selbst wenn
overcurling a
er
bit.
nicht ganz lenkt, kannst du immer probieren
Ja,
noch.
dann können wir immer drehen,
Poi
oder?
non era
Wenn er
necessario
nicht ganz
questa
lenkt,
tela.
können wir drehen. In jedem Fall.
Ja, gut, also, ja.
Ja, ja.
Gut, welcher sonst? Ich glaube,
I think the problem with that red that
Ja,
we
da.
just see Christian Bangerter looking
Er
at,
geht theoretisch, praktisch.
einfach das Problem ist aber, sobald
I'm
die
not sure
Lauf
that
ins
red
Weiße
actually
tut,
gets
dann ist
past
auch
its
weg.
fellow red.
Ja. Das ist ja so. Sag
It's
doch
quite
wer.
a difficult angle to
Ja,
use that
da.
red.
Ich glaube, es geht recht viel.
Klosner's first throw.
So.
Well, this is what Mattia Giovanella was pointing out. He thinks there's space to get to that yellow that we can just see peeking out at the back of the forefoot. Let's see. For the sake of good curling,
Also, speed was good before.
let's hope we see a good shot here.
Whoa, loose.
This is the kind of shot I would say always clean, always clean. We do not want a pick up on the ice and redirecting the stone.
Gar nicht. Gar nicht. Das ist lang, ist lang,
He's
ist
not
lang,
bad.
ist lang. Nicht.
They're saying they think it's a little bit long. He's not bad, you know. Was Mattia Giovanella absolutely correct? I thought I heard Christian Bangerter say 3 there. What an effort from Mr. Klosner, though. Imagine how little space he must have had if that really was a steal of 3.
Just.
And their final throw was almost fully in the forefoot.
Okay.
Goodness me. That must have been awfully close.
Come? No, volevo farla più piena possibile per dare che poi impatto, no?
So still smiling the Swiss.
Sì. No,
Brave last throw from them there.
Sì, sì, sì. Sì, è vera, è vera. Sì, che me per forza, per forza. Sì, no.
It is the Italians going to start, so it was definitely a steal of something.
Però vi 14-3 devo un'area rimane. Penso la 3-3.
Oh my goodness me. How close must all of those yellows have been crowding out that 4-foot circle if that really excellent try from Klosner there from the Swiss team wasn't good enough to cancel them out. A little bit of a mountain to climb then. for the Swiss team against
Linea buona.
this very winningy Italian side.
Spazio. Spazio lo stesso, è una corner. È una corner, Rama, devi andare. 15-20.
I'm really happy we learned Sebastiano Armand's nickname is Ramma, because they seem to use it all the time. And that's not a mistake, viewers. Mattia Giovanella very reliable on that first throw. And because the Italians have a big cushion of points now, they are plus 5 points. And they know that the Swiss, they cannot afford to be conservative anymore. The Swiss, they are going to have to play all out aggressive from here. And that's why it's safe enough for the Italians to just go ahead and put that first stone into the house. They can pretty much guarantee the Swiss will not just bump it through, because the Swiss need this free guard zone. They need stones in play. They need guards to hide behind. Oh, it sounds like all of our members here in the virtual club having a nice time and appreciating asking questions. Well, we appreciate it too.
Linea buona.
It's always fun to watch together.
Occhio. Occhio. Linea buona. Linea molto buona. Rama solo alla fine.
There you see, no mistakes from Mattia Giovanella. That's exactly what he meant to do.
14-23.
And the Swiss deciding, do we want to put a second guard up, really maximize our use of the free guard zone, but you will be facing more opposition stones, or already try to use one of those opposition stones to hit and roll behind cover already.
Linie Schenderang. Sicher du, ja, sicher du.
Sì, è vero.
We only have one more game tomorrow, Team Bangerter.
Okay.
So this game looking quite difficult now, and tomorrow it will be them who plays Team Jan Iseli. And we will also hope that they can win easily, using our new joke there.
Schade, weißt du, so mit vor nicht so leid durch, das ist einfach schön nicht gekommen. Weißt du, wenn ich mit Kindern aufmache,
Linea buona.
und am Schluss machen wir
Occhio linea, occhio linea.
gar nichts, weißt du, macht er gar nicht auf. So.
Linea,
Tre vicina.
linea.
Tre molto
Und
vicina.
dann die zweite, die hat die
Quasi
so,
quattro.
nee, wieso so schnell? Ich hatte einfach so einfach
Tre.
freeze, weißt du.
Tre
Du
quattro.
kannst gar nichts mehr machen.
Linea perfetta.
Ja, nicht verstehst
Metti il Rama.
No, Rama.
Over on the other game, over on sheet D, Team Schnider consolidating their lead. They are 4-0 ahead of Eddie Mercier, the French team.
You have to take those two.
Ça m'est égal.
Just come like this.
On essaye de...
You try to stay. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I think Team Schnider, they will have high hopes for this competition as well. They had some good games in Baden a couple of weeks ago.
Good.
They ended up on 1 win and 3 losses, in fact, Team Schnider, and that doesn't quite reflect how their games were going. And anyway, guess who their win was
È
against?
abbastanza flat.
Nick Cassidine,
Gioca
Olympic
una.
champions.
Singola.
So I think Andrew Schnider's team, I think they will have quite high expectations for themselves for this competition.
Whoa, okay.
But that's the value of the 5 rock free guard zone that we're seeing just now. That was a really nice throw from the Swiss before to clear out the centre. And look at that, we've still got 1 corner guard. And if you can swing a nice stone right in behind that, then you're asking the question of Italy.
Sì, stavo proprio guardando anche a me.
We want a nice shot here, please. Tucked right in behind that nice corner
Englisch
guard.
gut. Mir dünkt der Platz, wenn ich so schaue. Aber Länge braucht nicht zu viel.
Oh, wow. Länge ist eher lang.
Aber man muss gut, er geht gleich auf Guard. Er geht gleich auf Guard.
And this is looking pretty nice. Important is that it's buried. It is going to be a little bit behind tee.
Good like this.
But look how nicely that's buried. So Joel's not bothered that that's behind tee.
Nice.
It's the guard that's going to cause trouble. It's the guard that's going to have to be removed.
Clean. Clean.
Amos Mazzaner almost over the hog line by the time he's kicked off from the hack. Although actually, I think Christian Bangerter, in our picture there, I think he might be the only man in curling taller than Amos Mazzaner. But this is good play from the Swiss. They're setting themselves up nicely to score a couple here. I want to whisper that because I don't want to curse them by mistake.
2. 2, 3. 2, 3.
You can see what a difference the 5 rock-free guard zone makes compared to the 4 rock.
It's good.
The Italians having to wait just that 1 stone more before Ramma removing the corner guard. And what a difference it made. That just gave that 1 chance for the Swiss to wrap a stone around the remaining corner guard, and they have. And now they're forcing Italy to play over here. That's exactly what they want. Same again, please, from the big guy.
Sì. Linea gialla.
No trouble there.
Come on.
Yeah, at some point, the Swiss will have to deal with that yellow. It's just in the centre, just next to Christian Bangerter's feet. But at the moment, being a bit aggressive, if they can get some sort of mistake from the Italians, they don't make many, but
2.
if they can get a mistake, if they can
1, 2. Ist gleich kürzer.
try to get Italy to hit a guard at a bit of a wrong angle, maybe catch that yellow stone on the way through the house, something like that. So I think, yeah, right idea to have 1 more guard here.
12, sì, mi piace. Al limite la guardia.
Der backt schon, aber...
Ja, aber... Ist einfach gleich nicht gut, wenn du rausnehmen.
12 al limite la guardia.
Sounds like the Italians going to throw a 12-second stone. That's a stone that takes 12 seconds between the 2 hog lines. And that's a little bit more than hack weight. And it looks like they're now going to
Clean.
chase that red stone behind the guard. Definitely space to get there.
Whoa.
Gosh, look at that.
Linea.
So precise.
Roll. Roll.
The Italians now calling their opposition's bluff. Yeah, and poor old Christian thinking, what do we have to do to get a stone safe here?
10.
Again, a couple of options. Looks like they're going for the hit and roll behind cover. You could also play that same line we just saw from Joel Retornaz, but not so much weight. You don't really want to punch that yellow out. You could just, we call it a corner freeze, which is a very strange way of describing it since everything's a circle. But what we would mean is just freezing off centre on that yellow just thrown by Joel. But this is as good a call as any. Oh, golly, that's curling miles off.
It picked something.
It picked up, says Christian.
Ja, ist schon gesehen. C'était vers là, après il a poussé, oui,
That's
on va là-bas.
very unlucky for the Swiss.
Ouais, on est trop fort et on a besoin de ça.
Nobody wants to take advantage. Yeah, you can see Joel just sweeping his way down to the other end there, realising that Swissie's stone must have gone over just a little piece of fluff or a little piece of grit. If you have a new curling sweater, viewers, make sure you wash it first before you wear it on ice, so that any little pieces of fluff are already removed. This should be quite straightforward for Joel. He just wants to land one just in the front ring. Don't give the Swiss an easy path to that yellow just next to Mattia's feet.
Gioca per 4.
Joel sounding a bit hoarse today. Sounding a bit like Joel
Buona,
out there.
linea buona.
But line was all important there, and the line is spot on.
Com'è? No, alla fine non può pensare arrivare, un po' di più. Oltre 4 dopo.
Ma anche lei così non vuole.
Che la feva, guarda.
We need then a draw to the 1 foot in this fourth end of our featured game in Adelboden.
Poi per velocità, tipo come se fosse un ponte che deve arrivare a T9, spazzerissimo questo no.
Yeah, a couple of folks missing the chat function on some of the other streaming services for the curling. I think we're really leading the way here in the virtual club.
Key line. Come on. Line is good.
I also
Come on,
invested
all the end.
50
Till
cents
the end. Till the end.
to
Looks
watch a
good.
game or two
Nice look, Chris.
last weekend in Scotland. That was on the recast service. And there's no chat, and there's no nice lady talking about the game. And oh, that's just come up short for the Swiss. This game starting to get beyond them, I feel.
Pour moi, pas. Tu peux, mais c'est.
That kind of shot, that sort of pressure shot where you're drawing against 2 or even just drawing against 1, but it's a bit of a game saver. There's nothing you can do about practicing those, recreating that pressure of that shot. It's really difficult. You just have to play a lot of curling, actually. You have to throw a lot of last stones under that kind of pressure and just get used to it. And certainly the Italians have that advantage over the Swiss team. The Italian unit's been together a long time. Joel has thrown surely hundreds of last stones, if not thousands. And there's no substitute for just playing games for that. It's hard to throw last stones because you always have that pressure. A stone that's fairly straightforward to make if you're a second thrower. Just hit and stick, please. Not so straightforward when you've only got one shot, one chance at it, one shot. Throwing fourth is not for everyone.
È buona.
Devi dare questa. Va che la vai.
Linea buona. Puoi finire. 14:36.
And same as before then, the Italians have that cushion of points. They don't need to use the free guard zone here. It's the Swiss team that has to use the free guard zone. They're the ones who want guards out front.
Ja.
Yeah, this game starting to get away a little bit from the Swiss team. What they will want to say to themselves is, okay, they're up against really one of the best teams in the world, and the Italian team, hugely experienced. This team been together for really years. Always difficult ask for the Swiss team to get the win against the Italians, so what they want to do is finish strong here, the Swiss. Now's the time to keep going with what's going positively, so that good communication, good sweeping, good tactics. Let's really focus on our own stones. Even if we make 2 points here, let's focus on making 2 points, because then we know in our game tomorrow we can take that confidence into our game tomorrow. So even though this game is starting to get away from them, really, it's a long way back against one of the top teams with a cushion of points like that. But definitely focus on finishing strong, the Swiss team, and taking that kind of confidence to the game tomorrow. Good opportunities for all the teams in this competition. We have a smaller roster this year than in previous years. And big opportunities for some of the less experienced teams. Not only to play the bigger teams, but to make good progress in this competition.
Chris.
Oh, Michaela offers to come up with an I Love Lorna t-shirt if she comes to Switzerland. I would love that, Michaela. And you must come and join us here at the club. Here's an interesting shot, viewers. It is the 5th stone of the 5-rock free guard zone. And teams still deciding what to do with that 5th stone, actually. And that's interesting, asking Sebastiano Arman to just throw that stone away. Sometimes you'll see that 5th stone being used as a centre guard. But that wasn't a great idea, to be honest, in the 4-rock free guard zone, and it didn't become a great idea in the 5-rock free guard zone. And that's interesting to see a 5th stone actually just being thrown away. Mattia Giovanella, as he has all weekend, setting it up perfectly, just putting 2 stones right on top of each other, right in the centre. Italy not really interested in having any more stones in play, and just throwing that 5th stone away.
Nice.
And really, all the Swiss guys throwing nice stones. And I'm sure if this team entered your club championships, I'm sure they would be battling for top of the table. But it's really quite a different game at this level with these big teams. The big teams really bringing the game on every season. As we mentioned, we have the no-tick rule we're playing here in Adelboden this weekend, and that's because these big teams have become so good at the tick shot, which itself is hardly ever needed at the club. But a big shot at this level, and these big teams becoming so good at that tick shot that we're experimenting with this no-tick rule. And it really just shows you how consistent and how precise this Italian team are. Christian Bangerter, as I said, been playing for a long time. And if you ran into this team at a local competition or at an inter-club bonspiel, this team would probably win handily. They can definitely throw a good stone. But like everything, the best teams make it look quite easy.
Interna. Call out.
Johnny Cash out there. I think he needs a hot toddy before going to bed.
Come on! Oh,
a hot toddy is... Well, the people have their own recipes, but typically something like a nice hot milk with some honey and a little bit of whiskey on the top, just to soothe your throat. Well, take your time here, Switzerland.
Kijk, Peters. Ga zo even ging die andere.
Are you here, yeah?
Yeah, I think I like that, you know.
J'aime bien si on peut faire un score. Sans pin. C'est court, hein? C'est méga.
This is exactly what the Swiss have to do.
Je pense qu'on a place.
It's probably too much to ask to get 7 points back unless there's some kind of
Länge ist
disaster
nicht schlecht.
of the Italians,
Okay,
Länge ist
okay.
gut.
and what they need
Aber
to
ich glaube,
focus
es muss schon
on
noch viel kommen.
is
Soll
having
ich kommen? Aber jetzt kommt er.
this end as successful as possible, and they're setting it up nicely. Then they need to take that confidence into their final game tomorrow, and it's still all to play for. Two nice red counters then,
Ok.
and still a dangerous guard out front.
Mais après, on pique, on fait tous la merde. Parce qu'à la fin, c'est pas cette situation. C'est ça le mot, tu
Oh, clean.
Ah, mais non, on pique.
Sì. Sì. Oh, oh, oh.
Mais je good, schön.
Giù. Giù. Giù, giù. Giù che è buona, è buona. Per
And let's
prendere.
not all laugh at poor old Joel, trying to speak
Okay.
out there,
Een beetje etwas bewegen.
sounding a bit squeaky.
11
Com'è?
11
Ja, ich würde sicher mal 2 nehmen, eigentlich so.
We'll see him using hand signals
Das wird
next.
echt langsam schwierig wieder.
Anche se-
Weißt
anche
du,
se
ja,
non
ich
si può
keine
prendere,
Lust,
vuol
immer
dire
nur
buono.
Schießtag zu spielen.
io cane.
Ja, aber
11
wenn
Hier
ich
kommen.
wieder, dann komme ich wieder nicht mehr her.
Oddio, penso che ancora si può prendere. che devo
Nein,
prendere.
so ist gut, komm.
11:20.
So.
Ja, musst ja nicht so schnell. Kannst ja, dass der eine gelb hinter rot geht.
Again, let's think
Also.
about this, Switzerland. Let's make good decisions here.
Backhack.
Yeah, we can definitely use those
Schon
yellows
Hack.
and keep trying to attack with that corner guard. Sounds like the call is hack weight. That's exactly what you need, not too big. You just want to use that yellow to bump it through, and again, try to roll in behind that dangerous corner guard.
Yep. Board. Hack
This
board.
is exactly how to finish strong for the Swiss, but the curl's catching them a little bit again. Maybe they can
Non mangia ancora.
hit and roll off the other yellow.
Gut.
Spera che pensa anche io.
No,
Let's
facciamo
move
tre
things
quarti,
around a bit.
Das läuft nicht so.
Cleared out that
Das läuft
big cluster of yellows towards the centre, and I don't know if there's
Bella flat però.
a double
Sì.
takeout available for Italy.
Quindi Jeong non lo fare mai. Tre
That
quarti.
means that
Tre
this
quarti
end
all out.
is still looking quite nicely set up for the Swiss here.
Also ich hätte ja vorher einfach aufgehört.
Tre quarti.
Ich sehe nicht drinnen da, also ich sehe keinen Mehrwert. Höchstens, dass sie nochmal
Over on sheet D, in our other game in this group, it is Team André Schnider playing Team Eddie Mercier from France. Mercier also supporting this competition every year.
Oh.
And
Brava.
it is
Brava.
Schneider's team who are 4-1 ahead, the
Brava.
French
Gotta go.
getting
gotta
1
go.
point back. Oh, there was a double takeout. Oh,
Ma quale avete fatto?
Ah, non era metà.
that's it, yeah. Keep
Due
fighting.
terzi. Due terzi.
Hey,
Swiss team.
Huh?
You may as well try this freeze.
No, no.
I don't think there's any sort of quadruple takeout available, so you may as well try the freeze. That's your best chance of getting a couple of points from the Italians here.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Longo. Poi penso per noi livello opportunità. Magari ci dà noi. No, mica per me, perché dobbiamo portare giù i sensi.
We still have 4 rounds
How
of the
long?
round robin to go. Each team has 4
Yep.
games
Yep.
in the round robin.
It's light. It's light. It's light.
Ooh, this doesn't look much like a freeze though. Christian kind of asking, did you forget to throw that one?
Okay.
Di impenso. E se neanche giocano l'out e lo loga comodo. Anche se resta una top 4 con lì.
Sì.
Sì.
Je joue si court. Moi, j'imagine pas, mais
14:20.
C'est plus
guarda,
de
adesso,
jeu.
14:30.
We start again at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's the other group who's playing. Hopefully they're all getting a good night's sleep after a busy day today. They start at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then we have games similar times to today. So 8 o'clock in the morning European, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 in the afternoon.
Linea ok.
Linea spazio.
Linea spazio.
Then
Giù,
giù, che sulla guardi,
just going to check when the playoffs are.
Pensavo girasse, porca troia, erano in 3/4 guardia fino in cima. Girato una figa, proprio.
Nee, kom.
I think it's about 7:30, but I will confirm that. Or maybe a little bit later than that, because we're getting a bit bogged down in some of the games again.
Nee, zo niet.
I think the anti-clockwise handle is going to be easier, yeah. He's just played it. He has a Bremstein, a breakstone. That can act as a break, so he's definitely not short this time. Has he overcorrected? Is he going to need a little roll in from that yellow? One yellow it is. And that's enough for the Swiss today. Yeah, I think that game just got away from them. It was that third end was the big one, really. And not at all a bad final shot, fully 4 foot, but not enough to avoid a steal of 3. So really precise stuff from the Italians there. They're continuing their imperious march towards the knockouts here. They have had their bye already, Team Retornaz. So we will see them twice again tomorrow. They have 2 games tomorrow at 11 and 5. Team Bangerter, they have one last game against Team Iseli tomorrow morning at 11. We shall be watching one of the games live. We'll see if we can be up and running for both games, but we shall be definitely watching one of the games live every round tomorrow. And of course, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the final for a huge trophy, really beautiful trophy here at Adelboden. So the team's now just throwing last stone draw for the next game. So this throw, nothing to do with the game we've just watched. This is simply to decide last shot draw for tomorrow's round. But thank you for joining us today. We are back at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We have 4 more rounds, then the quarterfinals tomorrow evening, but in our featured game here in Adelboden, the 3rd edition of the World Curling Tour Adelboden men's competition, our featured game tonight was a big win. It was 9 points to 1 final score for Team Retornaz of Italy over Team Bangerter from Bern. Thank you for joining us. Come back tomorrow. Let's say yes, but then I'm just thinking though,
13, ma non è male, 14.
we haven't